The term toxic masculinity is a point of contention for many people, with many erroneously believing that it means masculinity in and of itself is toxic. In truth, it's about examining traits and behaviors that are generally seen as masculine, performative masculinity, if you will, that tend to be toxic to primarily men. These are things like bottling up emotions and not crying. That's the most common one that everybody talks about, but there's many more things. And really, it's kind of the idea of really trying hard not to do anything too feminine. But what's interesting about that is many of the people who will critique toxic masculinity, rightfully so, will also be the same ones that perpetuate it. Hey everyone, my name is Christian Verstappen, and I have a lot to say about many things. I want to talk about the recent TikTok trend of the ick. Now, I say it's a TikTok trend, but it's one of those things where, although I believe it started on TikTok, it's definitely made its way into the mainstream, if you will. Can we not change the audio level?
Your biggest ick?
When a guy is putting their blinker on.
What's your biggest ick?
When a guy is putting their blinker on. I just feel like that's such a feminine thing to do. Like,
so this is kind of a joke, right? This video here where this person goes through and they find daily ick videos. They actually have a really sweet one also called daily green flag videos, which we'll get to in a minute. But what is an ick here? Well, an ick is essentially this thing where somebody does something and you were attracted to them before, but now somebody does this thing that you see it or you hear it or whatever, and you think, ugh, well, now I don't like them. And for a lot of people, it's used to describe something where it basically completely damages any attraction they had to them at all. So the idea, the fear of like being with a partner for potentially years and having to be so like on edge that you can't do anything that they view as feminine, like in this case, using your turn signal, that something as innocuous as that could just destroy all attraction they have to you is terrifying. A lot of people kind of do this as a joke, but it's also kind of a real thing, and we'll get into how this is all harmful in a minute. But yeah, so as you see, this person here goes through this this entire thing. By the way, real quick on the blinker thing, use your blinkers. Like use your turn signals, please, for the love of God. I'm somebody who uses my turn signals even if there's nobody else around, because it's just a habit that I have. Use your fucking turn signals. Okay. So we have, oh, that's right, I can't zoom in or anything because of how, oh, I can now. Okay, good. So we have here, don't smile, be happy, don't be truthful, don't tie your shoes. We don't really see the context to a lot of these, but if we're going to see this person go down through here for all of this huge list. Don't blow up a blow-up bed. Don't be a man. Is that it? Really? So is this... I don't know if that's supposed to be transphobic or they're just trying to say, like, don't be a man, you gotta be a woman. Men, we gotta transition. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and go with that. Don't pick up a ping pong ball. Yeah, because a lot of these things, what this guy does here is they go through videos like this and like that. What's this? Where's my audio?
There's a chance I get the ick, but if he's not crying, I'm gonna be like, why aren't you crying? It's the happiest day of your life.
Wait, what?
Walk down the aisle, and I'm just thinking, if he's crying, there's a chance I get the ick, but if he's not crying, I'm gonna be like, why aren't you crying? It's the happiest day of your life.
Okay, so here's the problem with the whole ick thing, right? This is an example of it right here too, right? It puts men in a no-win situation, something like that. Like, oh, if he's crying, I might not be attracted to him anymore. But if he doesn't cry, I'm like, why aren't you crying? It's our wedding. This is supposed to be like a big deal. And it's like, that's why. You know what I mean? So like the whole thing with this, and we'll go through a few more of these here. Like this one. We have a person just riding a bicycle. Newick Unlocked. Riding a bicycle. Also, I really hope I don't get copywritten for that, like, 2 seconds of the Rihanna song. But, yeah, like, now, let me explain. I understand, to an extent, this is apparently what started the ick thing, so I understand what this is in concept. Check this out. Okay, we're not going to have the audio, just to be safe. So, he's wearing these very short socks that are generally associated with, women, femininity. The idea is that here is this thing this man is doing that isn't masculine enough. It's something that is too feminine. Now I have the ick. Now I am not attracted to this person that I was once attracted to. But here's the issue with that. That kind of thing is why men will do things like not express their feelings, bottle up their emotions. A lot of guys will talk about this idea. A very common thing with this is like the only things we're allowed to be are hungry, angry, or horny. Anything other than that, any real emotion outside of those things, we're just not allowed to be. This happens a lot where people, a lot of times women, will shame men in some way, like this ick trend. They will shame men for being a human being at the end of the day. Now, is it true that men will also shame other men for these? Absolutely, 100,000%. Think of the phrases like, you throw like a girl, you run like a girl, those kind of things, right? Like 100% that's shaming a man for, or even a boy or whatever, for doing something too feminine. You're not living up to this masculine ideal that you're supposed to be, right? Which also, in my opinion, is also problematic because it's saying that like this thing that is bad is what a woman does. So it's like femininity equals bad, which is, an entirely different thing. But the reality is that many of these people will rightfully talk about how harmful toxic masculinity is, and it is. But the thing is, these are the reasons, these are examples as to why men feel like they can't be emotional, they can't be real, they can't do these things. What is this? Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna turn this audio off after all. Oh, the ick is swiping with his... No, I wanted to pause the video, not play the song. So the ick is playing... Why are you not pausing? Have I told you how much I hate TikTok? Oh my god, their video player is so fucking ass. Wait, okay, so now the play button stays on screen even when I'm scrolling through the video. TikTok, get it together. What the fuck is this shit? God, be a normal fucking video player. Holy shit. Don't be a genius because of the... Okay, so yeah. I mean, what is this? Why is this kind of feminine? Why is this like not a masculine thing? What? Because he's like leaning back and swiping with his foot. Now here's the thing, right? I understand how these kind of things are... Oh my god, I didn't even show it. Okay, let's go through that again. That's my bad. So we have this guy where he's swiping through the car, I think. Is this in a car? Do they have a video player in their car? Wait, no, what is this? I have no idea what this is. 1 week into marriage, having doubts. Okay, so like, yes, this is a joke, but it's also... That one is understandable. Oh my god, man's a genius. But yeah, I mean, like, if you want to, like... Where are they? I actually can't tell what this is, that they're in. Whatever. So, okay, maybe they're on a plane? I don't know. Is this like a first class, high-tech plane? I don't know. But, okay, so yeah, he's... Like, I understand why that is, like, an ick, so to speak. Because, the whole concept, and again, we have to start going through all of these. The list just gets longer and longer. Don't be a genius. Don't live. Don't take her to Topgolf. So yeah, we're just going to keep going through a few of these to kind of get the idea here. Which I think you do get it. Okay, so what is this? climbing under the okay, so I guess like look, okay, here's the thing. I understand the like why some of these are things that aren't attractive, but the reality is you aren't going to constantly be like insanely attractive to your partner all the time. Or I should say your partner isn't going to be insanely attractive to you all the time. It's not going to happen. Now, of course, everybody can always do things to maintain their attractiveness in general, but like I think icks hmm, to me icks that would make sense would be things like as far as like my attraction to this person is like ruined now. Those I think those would be things that are more like hmm. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say ruined, but like I don't know, maybe talk about them if it's something like no, that's not Okay. I would say something like leaves dirty dishes in the sink. Yeah, that's something you might want to talk about and be like, hey, please clean up after yourself. Like let's clean up after ourselves. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Um, Ix could be something like, oh, I know, a common one, and I wouldn't say this is something that necessarily destroys attraction per se, but a common one that has been an ick for women for a long time has been leaving the toilet seat up. Now, funnily enough, I'm sure there are women who also would get the ick if a man puts the toilet seat down because they think like, "Why are you putting the toilet seat down? You're not a girl. You're not a woman, right?" Um, and the whole thing with that is that's the whole point. Like people doing things that are not necessarily. It's a very very long list. Yeah. Um, People doing things that are not necessarily extremely manly, right? Like this. Look at those little feetsies. Is that what this is titled? Look at those little features. Yeah, I think we're breaking up. Yeah. What's this one? Newick Unlocked. Boyfriend took me to Top Golf. Newick Unlocked. Oh, because of okay. I mean, again, like I get it because he's doing something that's kind of goofy. It's not like super stoic and manly and shit like that. And that's the whole point, right? This whole ick thing perpetuates toxic masculinity. That like you there is nothing wrong with him doing that. There's nothing wrong with that's like okay, say you take a man that like they're they're really insecure and they're afraid to wear pink. They finally do, and their girlfriend or their wife, whatever it is like, oh, it's pretty feminine, isn't it? Or maybe another girl or whatever, right? It's like, yes, that is the promotion of toxic masculinity right there. It's like can't wear a color. Like, I mean, we can keep going through these, but I think you get the idea. This is insane, and and the whole point is, yeah, this is insane. It is weird though. I don't think the guy that's making these um, is getting the right idea though, because as we saw from the last video, they're going to write "Don't take her to Top Golf," which is not the thing. It's because of how he like stretched before he did the thing. Is it kind of goofy? Yeah, sure, but okay. What is this one?
Give myself the ick too easily. I don't know if anyone else is like this, but if you have a cure, let me. It's a real problem. Like, it gets in the way of my life. I think there's like two versions of the ick, you know? There's the healthy version. Like, oh, this guy treated me like crap. Now I have the ick. Like, he left me on red, or I saw him with another girl, and now I have the ick. Then there's the unhealthy version, or what I called Nikki's version. As in, I saw a guy trip over a stool once, and I got the ick. That was it. I was done. Or like some.
Yeah, yeah. The whole point, right, is okay. Here's something that is, you know, yeah, again, they're not being completely stoic and masculine and all that shit all the time. You're not going to be, right? You're nobody is going to be perfectly a certain archetype of anything all the time. We're humans. We go through different things and we react to the world around us and all that different stuff. And the problem is when people see, especially young men or kids in middle school or high school, see trends like this taking off, and they see women just talking about this stuff, what it does is it sends to them the message that I have to be on my game all the time. And to be clear, there are enough women like that one there that we just saw who actually think like that it's a problem. There are enough people who are like that. The reality, though, is that if you do find yourself with somebody like that, if somebody has like the ick and they like lose attraction to you because you tripped or something, you dodged a bullet. Like there is no reason. There's no reason for this. People see this stuff and they think, I wonder what this person puts as the ick. Don't trip over a stool. Yeah. Here, we'll check one more, or at least find one more good one. Treading water. Okay, I mean, again, I can understand. Is he going to say don't tread water? Because that's what it is, right? I think. I don't know. I can't swim, so I don't know. Oh my god, it is such a long list. This is insane. Is it? Don't tread water. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look, I get it. I understand why that kind of thing is like, oh, that's not very attractive. It's not very masculine. Yeah, sure, I get it. But again, like, the problem is people see this. Okay, I said we'll do one more. This time we're actually doing one more because I remember. I think this is the one I looked at that I thought was a good one to talk about too. Newick Unlocked. Man using a step stool. Okay, this is a really bad one because what does this play into? The very common insecurity that many men have where they aren't tall enough and that being tall is like a masculine thing that they have to be, or that if they aren't tall enough, like the short men need not apply kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like this kind of stuff, people see this and they think that's how women are. That's how, like, this is not okay. It's not. This is not healthy. This is not good. On a side note with this, maybe not side note because it will lead into the next thing I get into in a moment here, which is going to be positive. I really, really hope, I really wish that we would put more positivity about things like this, especially relating to couples. Like maybe instead of an ick, instead of an ick trend, there should be a, I don't know, I want to say turn on trend, but there's got to be like a better word for it, right? Not necessarily turned on like, oh, I'm like, I got to jump their bones now, but just like, here's this thing that made me more attracted to them, even in a emotional way or whatever the case. You know what I mean? Something where it's like, yeah, that made me happy that we're together. It'd be nice to see a trend like that take off. So I want to go through this video. This is really sweet. And it's not an ick thing. It might have originally been from TikTok. I don't know. It's from, at least on YouTube, Jesse Conte. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Or Conte. I'm not sure. But in any case, I saw this and I thought this was really sweet. So this is an example of, I don't know if I want to say positive masculinity, but it's an example of, it's an example. Just check this out. We'll get into it.
I cannot make this up. If you're a guy, you probably just don't want to watch this. Girls, it's my...
Not, by the way, if you ever see anything where they're like, if you're a guy, don't watch this. If you're a girl, don't watch this. She's actually about to give a really good example and some really good advice. So check this out. This is actually really fucking good.
My time of the month, and somehow I managed to bleed through my sweatshirt, my jeans, and my socks, and we are out and about. I cannot walk around like this, so I tasked my husband Gabriel. I said, please Help me, please save me. So he's in there right now, getting me a new outfit. Let's see what he comes back with.
Save the day.
First in the lineup, I was just trying to find something, because you obviously need to be feeling cozy. I don't even know what they are. Sweats, leggings, not really. They're ribbed a little bit.
Oh,
very nice and comfy. And they have a little slight bell-bottom vibe. I don't know. I had to find something that matched. So then I was like, all right, we're going for the gray color palette. We have a little oversized for your size. I went like a size up. It is a cropped crew neck sweater. It's in the gray, so it'll match. To top off the cozy factor, I got you these nice little cozy socks.
Oh my
All in the gray.
gosh.
I love just like, I love the positive example that this, we're here, we'll go through the whole video first.
Honestly, the pants were supposed to be more bell-bottom than that.
I understand the vision.
But you look
This is so cute. I love this, man. This is, I want to see more of this kind of shit. This is like, this is a really good example of a couple where one person was in a very awkward situation and the other partner stepped up. Because do you know how many men in this situation would be grossed out about her natural bodily function? It's like, yeah, like, okay, it happened. I'll help you get something, cleaner and stuff. You know what I mean? Or like, I'll help you do. There are men. There are men who are literally afraid to like. I don't mean like literally like, oh, they're afraid. I mean like they're so insecure with their masculinity that they like won't buy their girlfriend or their wife's pads or tampons. Like it's or like a couple will hook up, girl needs plan B, and the guy doesn't like offer to get it for her or anything, or like and it's like, why are you not like helping in these why are you not? I don't know. I don't understand it. But it would be very easy, and I could more so see men with this one here perpetuating this toxic masculinity, but I could see women perpetuating this as toxic masculinity too. I could see this as an ick kind of thing, and it's not, but we're going to go through it here. Someone could easily look at this and be like, oh, it's kind of sus how good he was at picking this out for you, or something like that, or he didn't pick out the right thing, or whatever the case. Right? There are always going to be people that are just impossible to please. And I'm not saying that as to say like, oh, that's how she is or anything. No. This person and this relationship, this is a very good example of a healthy relationship. This is this is really sweet. This is really sweet. I love this. When I saw this, I was already planning on going over the icks thing, but when I saw this, I was like, this is a great example of the opposite of this. I mean, this man, he comes through and he's in here and he's like, yeah, I want to help you out with this thing, and even her little like awe and like shit like that, like it's little things like this, but I mean like, and even her, how she says this part here, right?
nice little cozy socks.
Oh my gosh.
All in the gray color palette. Honestly, the pants were supposed to be more bell-bottom than that.
I understand the vision.
He's like, they were supposed to be more bell-bottom, as in like, oh man, like I kind of fucked up. They weren't exactly how I wanted to be. And she's just supportive. She's like, no, I get it. Like I get what you were going for. It's sweet. Like this is a very healthy, sweet example of a couple, of a relationship. And I love it. I think we need more positivity, more things like this, and less things like the ick stuff. I mean, this is way too long of a list. This is insane. And again, like, yeah, some of it's a joke. Also, don't be short. That's also what this is. It's still don't be short. Don't be short. Don't use a step stool. I mean, because like, I could see if you are shorter jumping for something like that, and the girl being like, "Oh, that's an ick." You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. There are always going to be things that you do that are not attractive to your partner. There are always going to. You're never going to be always attractive to your partner 100% of the time. And your partner's not always going to be attractive to you 100% of the time. It's important that you don't like shame them for that. And look, I believe that there is an amount of people who, maybe even the majority of them, I don't know, who are doing the ick trend just as a joke. And it's not meant to be taken seriously. But it doesn't matter if it's meant to be taken seriously. What matters is that many people will see this and they will think it's a real thing. They will see it and they will think, okay, it makes me unattractive to women when I am a human being, essentially, right? And essentially it tells men, this is part of the problem with like dating and stuff. It's like there's so many mixed messages where you'll have people like myself and other people who are more on the progressive side of things who will talk about things like toxic masculinity and stuff and all that. But then you'll also have people, women here in this example, who will basically say, no, the red pillars and all that stuff are right. You aren't allowed to show emotion around me and stuff. Or another example is like a lot of women talk about how they want men to open up to them more and stuff. Yet, and don't get me wrong, men do this with women too, but nobody tells women, oh, I wish you'd open up to me more. Oftentimes, when a fight happens or a breakup happens or anything else like that happens, that person will go for your insecurity. So that thing you told them in confidence that, you thought, oh, this is me really opening up to you and everything, and oh, we're having a moment, whatever, that can be used as leverage against you in the future. It's horrific, it's horrible, and you shouldn't be in a relationship where, like, you shouldn't be like confrontational with your partner about that, where you have to feel like, oh, I can't be real with them because they're going to use that to hurt me later. But it happens. And when people do things like that, or they do this ick thing or any of that kind of stuff, any of this, like, the whole like partner shaming in general, even if it is just for a joke, is like fucking disgusting. And it's not okay. It's kind of the similar energy to like the guys who would always be like, oh, the old ball and chain, or the joke, like, all those boomer jokes where the joke is essentially, I hate my wife. Like, okay, like, how is that? Yeah. So like, yeah, partner shaming and stuff is always cringe and stupid, and it's, yeah. So I always try to like, leave like one positive message was that really, really cool couple there. That was really sweet. I fucking loved that. The other piece of advice I guess I would give, the like takeaway here, would be, if you see these ick things, don't worry about them. Don't take them too seriously. At the same time, don't make them yourself. Don't even make little jokes. I would say, yeah, I would say don't even like teasing is one thing, but yeah, I don't know. If a guy's like getting on a step stool or something, or crying before their wedding, like any of that shit, don't give them a hard time over something like that, because they'll just stop doing it. It's the same, and look, I want to be clear, like, it's not like men don't partner shame women. Like, it happens. 100% it happens. Like, a common one is, maybe you got a girl who's, she has a lot of food in front of her, and a guy's like, wow, that's a lot of food you got there. That sounds like an innocuous comment, but to her, you just called her fat. Just like if the girl is like, oh, I don't know, she might even say something like, oh, it's cute. I think it's cute how you like get a step stool out to reach that for me, or something. Like, that's, yeah, and don't get me wrong, both of these things are levels of insecurity and levels of, hey, talk about this with the other person. Communication is key, after all. But you gotta, you yeah, you don't want to like shame your partner or anything like that, or kind of like make fun of them in a way such as that. You know what I mean? Um, and again, um, yeah. Oh, and I would say as well, anybody that legitimately does these things, like that one woman even who was like, I think I take it. I don't know. She's like, I take X too seriously or something. If there's a cure for this, that girl. Yeah, definitely. If you have a partner who like gets the ick from you doing something like, I don't know, getting up in a swimming pool or treading water or using a step stool or putting your blinker on or any shit like that, just let them go because they were not worth it, you know. And it was just be mindful of the things that you say, you know, to and around your partner, about your partner, you know, things like that, because you know. And at the same time, if somebody does say or do something that makes you feel uncomfortable, you know, insecure in some way, tell them, you know, maybe let them know, hey, can you not do that? And then if they're not receptive to your feelings, this is true for like friends and stuff too, anybody. And if they aren't receptive to your feelings and stuff, they brush them off or whatever, maybe reanalyze that relationship and maybe it isn't worth it. I don't know. I just, it's not, I don't know. It's just partner shaming is cringe and completely unhealthy and just not good. It's not good. So, anyway, as always, these are just my thoughts. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below. Follow me on social media for more. Subscribe and ring the bell to stay up to date. Leave a like if you like. And if not, I hope to find something you do like. Later, guys. Peace and love.